Trouble. We're back together again.
I'd
Welcome
like to
home.
say, Taz, you look fabulous.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, really.
It's the suntan from Africa.
Oh, nice.
So today we're in the beautiful surroundings of the newly refurbed St Pancras Hotel. What exactly is happening here today?
Oh, God. You are.
Wow.
I am.
You know, I couldn't quite put it into...
Well, I need to figure out your guy's name before. What's the artist's name?
What's the guy? He's from that band, right?
The photographer who took the pictures.
Oh, I thought you...
Ross Helfin?
No. Come back to that question.
Okay, we'll come back there. So since speaking to you last at Sonosphere, a multitude of dreams and milestones have been conquered and lived. Be it singing at Freddie Mercury's birthday bash or winning Classic Rock's Best New Brand for 2011, every live show that you do is testament of your thanks to your fans. The energy you put in it, the vibe you give out, we all know that that's our thanks that we get from you guys. But what conversations have been happening between the four of you regarding your success? Do you wake up every morning and go, oh my God?
Actually, you're not too far off with that. I don't know that we discussed it that much, except for wow.
So we're not going to do the one-word answer thing that we talked about?
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't you dare do it to me.
No, I'll tell you now. Here was a joke. This is what we were going to do to you.
Really?
Here's what we were going to do to Taz, because we know her. We decided that we were going to give one-word answers the entire time. And then we were going to wait to see when you were going to finally catch on. Like
what the hell happened to you guys?
you guys used to be so much
You
fun.
guys are so such dicks. I would have laughed so much.
Okay,
Okay,
so...
then here's my one-word answer.
No, now you can
Cat's
get
out of that. We're good now. That's not me. That's you.
What the fuck?
How does this keep
Spears
happening?
again.
It was off,
Does this keep happening?
and then I turned it on so I could bring you in,
Thank you.
and forgot to turn it back off.
So,
Well,
what's the
to answer your
reaction
question, we do try to stay pretty humble with it. You know, it can be overwhelming at times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know that we consciously don't try to get too caught up in it, but by the time you think about it, you know, you're really off to your next event because we're so busy. You know,
Yeah.
we barely have time to think before it happens again. So
it's been all really quick.
Yeah, and I just generally trying to be thankful within that, you know, and to what Richard just said is, you know, there's been so much going on that it, you know, like immediately we did the Classic Rock Awards and 9 a.m. the next morning the bus is picking us up to take us to Nottingham to start the tour. So, you know, it's kind of like it's just been one thing after the other, but really trying to make sure that any chances we get, we kind of do say, wow, you know, how thankful are we?
Also, I mean, you asked what we say to each other. I think it's almost like one of those kind of relationships where you're not trying to over-romanticize in a way because it's almost unbelievable. So we joke around a lot. Like, we say things to each other like, how's this keep happening? Right. And we say stuff like, every day is Christmas. And I think that's our way of being able to say to each other, it's a pretty amazing life we have every day. And it's a way to say it without trying to get too emotional or to get caught up in the emotion of it. Is like that relationship, you joke around about things in order to not be too serious. So we joke around about it more so than talk about it, but we all know how pretty blessed and how amazing it is what's happening to us.
Sure. Well, I hate to be the one to tell you that you're not going to wake up and it's not going to be a dream. It's happening. It's really, really happening. So the UK's pretty much been home to you guys for the last year now. Popping back to LA to play at the legendary Havels with your original Troublemakers can only be described as the best of both worlds, really. You recently supported the Bangles through the States. What for you was the fundamental differences between the US fans and the UK fans? Not Havels fans, the US fans and the UK
Accents?
fans. Never heard it said in that accent.
I think, in all honesty, and I don't mean this as a slash to the UK because we absolutely love our Troublemakers here, but there's some fundamental differences besides accents. They dance a little more in the US.
Do they?
It's a little more of a dance thing, whereas they listen a little harder here, though. So In the U.S., I don't think they listen as hard, but they're in their bodies a little more. Here, they're not quite in their bodies. 2 and 4 is a little foreign, but boy, do they listen. And you know, I don't know if you could really choose either or, one being better than the other, but that is a fundamental difference from my perspective.
I think what I've noticed about what Richard was just saying is that the more we're here, the more we're starting to see the dance happening. So, I mean, that's kind of cool to have come here in February, and we do notice it was an extreme difference, and we heard about it as far as the dance was concerned, but little by little, like last night's gig, a good first 7 or 8 rows were dancing, and you can just kind of see it kind of bleed into the next rows, and so little by little, either the audiences are getting it, or little by little we're getting better and causing more dance to happen. One of the two, I'm not sure what it is.
Talking about last night though, I heard literally 5 minutes before walking in here that people were singing along to songs that aren't on the records.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah.
It's crazy. How's this keep happening? see, it's easier not to be all serious about it.
Yeah. But I'm talking about talking about the dancing and that. I don't know if you read the review that I did about you guys at Sonosphere. It's the first time ever that I've actually had my arm aching from actually fisting the air the whole time through a band set. First time ever. So I was pretty impressed with that, and I've seen you guys loads.
Which is funny because Sonosphere is a metal festival where people are doing this, and we're a soul band playing at a metal festival. And
I had my horns up for you.
love
And then talking about the UK being your home for the last year, it was with a huge dose of pride that I read your live review from the House of Blues in Chicago, where the reviewer claimed that you hailed from the UK but resided in LA.
Yeah, that was
What does this mean to the band? From the perspective of when we did the first interview together, you guys were sort of pretty confident on the fact that the UK got music quicker than the States did, and now all of a sudden they've got you, and you belong to them now.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel as a band?
It's a tremendous honor. I mean, you know, we talk about it a lot. So many of our heroes either came here and did that, or hailed from here. And so for us to be able to come over and be embraced by the audience here in the way that we have been so quickly,
Sure.
it's just another one of the, how does this keep happening? It's another dream.
This is great. This feels like the capital of Europe.
Yeah.
makes me feel a little polyamorous.
Polyamorous.
Yes, because it feels like, you know, we're in two different relationships, both of which think they're the first wives.
Yeah.
And that's cool. We've got a lot of love to spread around. We can handle a couple of relationships.
Yeah, there you go.
It also feels good because we, you know, we chose to be, this is where we wanted to come, so it's kind of a dream for us. So when we really did sit down and we talked about it, what do we do with this project? You know, what we said is we want to come to the UK. So for us to actually be able to make that happen and then, like you guys said, be embraced by the UK, it really kind of is a little dream come true for us to be here and to make this happen.
I think the UK are definitely claiming you as their own, though.
As they should.
As they
Yeah,
should,
they
and we're
definitely
happy about
are.
it.
Yeah, we were at our show last night. Oh, you're gonna love this. You might know about it already, but a couple days ahead of time, it was more than a book,
My
it's a
pictures
CD as
were
well.
there, and I was meant to come along and sign it, and I was too sick in bed.
Let me tell the listeners what we're talking about. So, what happened was we had these Troublemaker fans of ours, which is this amazing UK family that we've developed, the UK Troublemakers. They told us after sound check they wanted us to meet them at a bar. We go to this bar, they line us up against the wall for this presentation, which consisted of speeches that our families could not have written better about the relationship we're developing, but also they gave us a live CD called Vintage Trouble Live Ones by the Troublemakers for the Troublemakers. And it's a collection from YouTube that they grabbed the audio from and made a live CD. And the reason why we love this is because it was almost like when people would make cassettes, like people would go to Grateful Dead and these other shows, and they'd make cassettes and pass them around amongst the fans. They weren't on sale anywhere, it was just for the fans. And money's going to be given to some charity, which is great. And they put that together, and there was a book called Troublemakers 2011. And First of all, here by saying 2011, that sounds very American, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
2011, and it was just beautiful pictures of the people that are part of this family, and with their names. And then in the back of the book, they left a couple of empty pages because they said we give so many autographs to them, they wanted to autograph the book, so then they signed it for us. There was another woman named Lulu that has this thing called Vintage Fair. It's a vintage clothing place. It's pretty amazing. She gave us condoms that were vintage trouble condoms on one. The other ones, we were in an interview and we made a joke about piping bags. Like we were saying that. So one condom said vintage trouble, and the other condom said Ty Taylor's piping bags. They gave us some amazing rum and tequila. Another woman gave us a book that's called Trouble Summer 2011, and it was all her stories. It started out once upon a time. There was this woman that was having a hard time, and then she found the band, and it just recounts every show she'd been to with tickets, pictures, and because of the community of troublemakers are so into each other, it's like they feel like they have their own band. It's not even about us as much anymore. But they're so into each other that in this book, the details were so funny, and you can see their relationships developing through the book as well. Not just about them coming to shows, but you literally see people going on vacations together that didn't know each other before Vintage Trouble, and that's pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
And so they gave us this whole presentation. So the UK troublemakers, they've stood up and said, yes, we do own you.
Yeah, it's the power of soul. And I'm sorry I wasn't there to do my bit.
But you've been there the whole time. You were there in spirit.
I feel like a badass now. But going back to the touring and that, so this leg of your tour includes Germany, Italy, Switzerland, and Belgium. What other countries are you looking to conquer in the future?
Is that just Europe, did you ask? I didn't hear the beginning.
So this leg of this tour includes Germany and Belgium.
Okay.
Yeah, Australia we have coming up, Japan, hopefully it'd be great. There's parts of Southeast Asia that we'd actually love to get at.
Spain,
hallelujah. Yeah. Spain, South America.
We're releasing our album in America the first of the year, so it's a big market.
Yeah, exactly. We'd like to conquer home.
Yeah. We haven't even technically released the record, and then there's Antarctica still. There hasn't been soul music brought down to Antarctica. Maybe we can.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much everywhere. You know?
Yeah.
There's also some interesting markets we want to conquer. We want to do a Bible Belt tour.
Wow.
Just the Bible Belt. We also want to do a women's prison tour.
That would be
interesting. You know.
Also,
there are countries in themselves, if you really think about it.
South Africa, we'd like to go.
We might need somebody to go with you on that one.
Yeah, let's do it.
You'll definitely need someone. I know someone, but yeah. Just interestingly enough, I bumped into one of your friends the other night, a guy called Brian May. And he's been doing a lot of interesting projects of late. He got on stage with The Darkness the other night, and I hear word of him collaborating with Lady Gaga and N-Dubs, and anything we can do with Vintage Trouble and Brian May.
Amazing.
Everything we can do with the show with Brian May. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's odd for us to ask, but it'd be great for you to bring it up next time you're in an interview with him. Right. I mean, it definitely would have more weight coming from you than us.
Definitely.
Right. All of his friends are asking him to do something with him, but coming from someone from Uber Rock with that kind of stature, you could say,
oh, good God.
Our viewers have been asking for
do that.
Our legions of followers have been asking
I'll just
for it.
post the interview to Brian and check it. So going back to the beautiful surroundings of the St Pancras Hotel, what exactly are we doing here today?
Let me find out. Can we go back to this question? Let me find out the guy's name from Danny, because we should answer this one perfectly.
You should, yeah.
Give me 1 second.
What is it? It's a coffin table photo book benefit. It's a benefit.
Charity.
For Stella McCartney's, right? It's Stella McCartney, I believe, and again, we're going to get the proper explanation coming up. But
We met this
Paul will
amazing
be here.
photographer that we all forgot his name.
Is that the one that did the full
Well, we were so
picture
high.
on the shirts? Is that the same one?
No.
Those are various
Those are
different.
just troublemakers.
That's
Just around we found.
It's just so cool. While Ty's off doing that, let's talk a little bit about what you perceive to be your future next year. I know you're talking about going to Australia and Japan and all that kind of thing. Where do you see it going now? What's going to happen next year that obviously you know a few things that are going to happen, but you could never have written this year down a year ago.
No.
Could you write anything about next year?
Sure, from what we've learned from this year.
Yeah, make it even, move the whole operation and write better music and tour more and find out the rest of the world.
And being so busy, when can we expect a new album? What can we be expecting?
That's what's funny is, we played a 2-hour show last night, and it really, at least half the show last night is on this music that isn't technically released. Certainly, if we go back to haven't released the record in the States, and so for us, there is, to Nolly's point, writing more music, playing as much as we can, but the world's a big place, and kind of doing what we've done here in the UK, it's very exciting, and it's a new set of challenges for us too. For example, we leave tomorrow for Europe, and that's a whole wide open, brand new sort of canvas for us to kind of try and paint on and learn from what we've done here, and see what we can handle there. But in so many respects, it's still back to the first record. We're on those first 10 songs as far as what is technically out there into the ethos. So really, just it gives us a lot to work with as far as managing how we're going to release the next set of tunes, videos, how we're going to deal with the different territories, moving that to Australia, Japan. It's exciting. It's really exciting because it almost there's not enough hours in the day. But when you're that excited about doing your work, that's a good place to be.
Yeah. My only concern, and it's a completely selfish, concern, is we've basically taken you guys on for a year now. We've been really spoilt with having you guys at our leisure to see you when we wanted to live through the UK. When you guys do move off to go and show some love elsewhere, we're going to get really jealous.
Well.
It's amazing. We managed to tour the country 5 times around.
It is. It's crazy. No other bands have done it. This is, I've said this to you guys before. So many times before. It's what everyone's looking at Vintage Trouble, going, "How have you done this?" Because local bands can't do it.
Well,
Gotta be American.
no,
I'm just joking.
Oh, you got to be British, living in LA. Sorry, So you've got some details for us
About what?
about the book.
Oh, right. Okay. So,
I thought you were talking about it last night.
so we were at the St. Pancras Hotel because it's the Variety Club, which is one of the oldest children's charities. Everyone has done the event we're doing tonight. The Stones have done it. Zeppelin has done it. And we were asked to do it tonight. James Stroud is the name of the photographer.
Okay.
And when we finished our last tour, we did a last show in Cardiff, and we thought it was supposed to be over. But while we were on our bus, they told us we've got to come back to London for this, to be in this amazing hotel, because this photographer wanted to shoot us for his book. And he shoots basically rock legends. And so for us, it was a huge honor because he usually chooses 1 or 2 of his favorite new groups to be in this book. And they're making Coffee Table Book. It's a dinner, it's a show. We'll be performing, Duffy will be performing. And we actually made it into the book.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and all the proceeds go to the Variety Club.
Absolutely amazing. Well done.
Yes.
I feel all warm inside.
Oh.
Anyway, back to that little place in the Holdouts, eh? Thank you very much. I'm going to let you guys get going.
Thank
you.
Taz.
It's nice to see you once again.
It's always great seeing you.